morning, Bobcat fans. Al Weston here for another Bobcat Coach's Corner. Going to talk some golf with Jimmy Wilson. How are we doing today, Jimmy?
Just lovely, Al. How about yourself, sir?
Excellent. You probably still have a little bit of whiplash from the turnaround that your team had over the last couple of weeks. You go from that 13th place finish to taking the field over at the Pirate Invitational. How in the world did you make it happen, Jimmy? All good coaching, I assume?
Great coaching. No, I don't think I've ever been more proud of a group of guys for turning it around like they did. Usually we get out of the gate pretty quick in the spring, so I guess I assumed we would do that, and we came out very slowly. But we got back and we talked about things we need to work on. The guys worked hard for the next week and a half, and we went down to Savannah, and they played very well.
Solid tournament field and a lot of conference schools in there, which is another good sign. Does that mean that you guys have the goals of competing for a Peach Belt championship?
Yeah, every team there was in our Southeast region as well, too, so that was a big plus. If we continue to play like we did in Savannah, we should be okay.
Okay, Pat Garrett, of course, wins the individual title as well, and it all really came in that second round. I think he was even par after the first round, and 5 under, I believe, on day 2 with a 66.
That's correct. Pat, the first day, we only got in maybe 12 holes due to weather and daylight. Pat was 2 over through 12, so he actually played Tuesday's golf 7 under par.
Outstanding. Well, Pat's, he's been a good guy for you the last couple of years. He's really your leader as far as, scores go on this team as a junior. An all-conference honoree a year ago. I mean, do you think this is a guy that can battle for All-American honors down the road?
I would think so, yes. He's the typical grinder. He's the kid that I like to have on my team. Nothing real flashy. He just hits fairways, hits greens, gives himself chances at birdies.
And the whole roster that you took to this tournament, and actually to the last 2 tournaments, all American-born players for you, which is a little bit of a change of pace. Normally you're finding folks from Sweden or Argentina. Has golf, the quality of it, increased that much in Georgia over the last couple of years?
Well, golf gets better every year. You can look at the scores in the college tournaments and in the professional ranks and see that golf is getting better every year. I think the Georgia kids, the American kids, are taking it more seriously now than they probably ever have before. They see the influx of international kids and international professionals playing, and I think they're starting to figure out that I got to work a little bit harder than I have been.
All right. Well, what do you look for when you do the recruiting for Georgia College golf? What kind of skill set does a guy need to have, and what are all the intangible stuff as well?
Well, a lot of my recruiting is done by former players. They'll call me up, they'll tell me that I've got this kid at my club or whatever, and they know what I'm looking for. First thing is grades. I mean, chances of a kid going to Division II school and then turning professional and being very successful, not that great. So we want a kid that's going to come in here and he's going to be serious about his schoolwork, he's going to get his degree, and he's going to be a productive person in society when he leaves here. Second, there are coaches that look at golf swings. I'm not a big golf swing guy. Matter of fact, you'll hear me fuss at my guys for playing golf swing instead of playing golf. I'm interested in getting the ball in the hole in the fewest shots possible, not how it looks getting there. Again, through my former players, I've been doing this for a little while. They know what I'm looking for. They can tell me, this kid has got this, but this is something you may want to consider on the other side. I'm not saying recruiting gets easier, but it's having those former players that look out for you. It's a pretty big deal.
So that Georgia College network, so to speak.
There you go.
You're heading Saturday down to Valdosta, and this tournament just seems to be one of the best ones you play in every year. I know it's always a real tough field, probably the second toughest field after our own host tournament that we'll have in 2 weeks. Talk to me about that Southeastern Intercollegiate and who's going to be there, what kind of course it is, that sort of thing.
I think I was looking at golf stat rankings yesterday, and 5 or 6 teams that are in the top 10 in the country will be there this weekend.
Outstanding.
This tournament we won a year ago. Pat Garrett won it individually a year ago. We'll see exactly where we are. I mean, every time we go out, we're tested. We don't have any cupcakes, if you will. And this golf course designed by Davis Lowe III. If they stretch it out, it can play up to 8,000 yards long. due to the fact we're just coming out of winter, we're going to play around 7,200, but that's plenty long for a wet golf course. Nationwide events held there every year. PGA Tour qualifying schools held there every year. So it's a great golf course, great test of golf, and it's a test of patience for the kids, and that's something that we continue to talk about day in and day out. Is you have to be patient when you play this game.
All right, well, we'll see if the Bobcats can rise to that test down in Valdosta, Georgia. Going to be Monday and Tuesday action. Check gcbobcats.com for all the results there. Also want to remind you the home tournament coming up in 2 weeks, the following Monday and Tuesday up at the Golf Club at Cuskawilla. If you can't make the trip up there, again, continue to follow gcbobcats.com for all the results from Jimmy and the gang. Thank you for your time, Jimmy. We appreciate you coming out here and spending some time with us today.
Always my pleasure, Al. Thank you, sir.
All right, for Jimmy Wilson, Al Weston, for the Bobcat Coach's Corner.